morning voice right here. It is Tuesday, September 3rd. It is, I think it's almost 9 o'clock in the morning. I've just been going through my morning routine, you know, the usual journaling, reading. I haven't pulled my tarot cards or my oracle cards just yet, but I have a lot that I want to say in my journal. So this is like a really long journaling session for me this morning. I thought for today's video I would do another day in the life vlog, but since we are heading into fall and NaNoWriMo is approaching very, very quickly, I actually wanted to take you through my typical writing day. So for the month of September, I'm really gearing back up to work on my writing projects. And so I do want to have a series of writing related videos. I did ask a question or put up some questions in like a little poll on my Instagram. I will leave that in this corner right here. So make sure you are following me because Instagram is what I use to get input for future video topics, future video series, stuff like that. And there were so many of you who really, of course, love the writing videos, love them in the day in the life vlog style. So I want to try to bring writing advice and more of like how I structure my days, how I schedule my days, how I optimize my days to get the most words down and to have really productive writing sessions. So today I want to take you through what my typical writing day looks like. Before we do that, I did want to let you know that my coaching program for writers called VALIANCE is open for enrollment for this entire month. Just so you know, VALIANCE has not been open for enrollment since last December. So it's been a hot minute. It's been a hot minute since I've opened it up to the public. So if you are ready to get serious about your dreams of becoming an author and you want a roadmap for the entire book creation process, brainstorming your story, outlining, writing it, editing it, marketing it, publishing it, all the things, right? All the things. That is what, like, this program is my methodology. This is how I have written and published 7 books in just 4 years' time. You can learn more about VALIANCE by clicking on the link in the description box below or going to KristenMartinBooks.com and clicking on the Coaching Programs tab on the menu bar. Okay, so go grab yourself a warm beverage, maybe a mug of coffee, a cup of tea, and we are going to get started with some great B-roll for my typical writing day. Whoa, let's get this situated here. I've got my cup of coffee, which is a writing essential, I might add. Also, a water bottle. Normally I have like a jar of, like a mason jar of lemon water, but I'm just sticking with regular water today. And then, as you just saw in that B-roll, I have a nice little spread of all of my notebooks. I have some pens to mark things with, highlighters, my notebook, and then the other thing I need to do is grab my books, Shadow Crown and Renegade Crew, because I am working on the Shadow Crown series. So I also have these, plus my series Bible. Voila. So normally what I do, or my typical writing day, the way it starts out is I take time to review whatever it is I'm about to work on or whatever it is I want to write. So I'm probably going to go through my series Bible, just kind of refresh my memory on a few things, and then also open up my laptop and see where I left off on my manuscript, because I'm going to be totally honest, it's been a hot minute since I have looked at it, and I did not write a little note to myself, which I normally do. So it's kind of like completely starting from scratch right now. Like, I'm having to review and remember exactly where I was and where my train of thought was, which is why it's always good to take notes in your series Bible. And honestly, I probably have those notes in here, and my briefing sheets for Acts 1, 2, and 3 are really gonna help me remember what in the world I will be writing today. has been about 20 to 30 minutes. I feel as though I'm in a really good spot right now. I remember what it was I was going to write next. I actually did write myself a note that I found, but it just wasn't, it wasn't on this top page here. So one of the things I always make sure that I do, especially when I'm writing a series, is not only do I have my really detailed outlines, but I also have an outline that kind of has like one or two sentences for each chapter. And it kind of gives me an overview. So this way I'm able to go through maybe like a 10-page document instead of going through my really detailed outline, which can sometimes be like 40, 60, 80 pages long. You know, which is still great to have all of that detail in there, but I have like multiple reference documents. And I find that this is really important when you're writing a series because there's so much we can forget. It's just like part of human nature. Our brains cannot hold that much information. And you know, you can know your characters inside and out, you can know your world inside and out, but there's always one little thing that can escape. It just can escape your mind. And so I found that that's what was happening as I was starting to write the 4th book in the Shadow Crown series. And that's when I realized I need to go a step further and not just have my really, really detailed outlines, but a place where I can have 1 to 2 sentences for each chapter, like a shorter reference guide, like even shorter than my really detailed outline. So by using this, I'm able to then refer to my detailed outline without having to go through the actual book, find the chapter, and you know, figure out what it is I wrote. So with that being said, I have my books from the series with me, I have my in-depth outlines with me, and then I also have this quick reference guide that just has 1 to 2 sentences per chapter. And I find that this method helps keep me organized. I'm able to find things much faster this way. So I know someone's probably going to ask this. I do not use Scrivener. I have it on my computer. Honestly, I just haven't taken the time to learn how to use it. And I really like having things on paper. I feel like I'm, you know, writing as it is. You're looking at the screen so much. So I actually prefer to have things on paper. I feel like it gives my eyes a little bit of a break. And I like to be able to draw arrows and move things around. So maybe one day I will learn how to use Scrivener, and, you know, who knows, I'll probably love it and love that whole system and having everything digital and being able to move stuff around that way. But for now, I really like this paper method, and it helps keep me organized. So now that I know what I'm going to write, I'm going to clear off my desk of anything that I don't currently need, and I'm going to go ahead and load up my manuscript onto my laptop, and we're going to get some words down. So my goal for today, my full writing goal, is going to be, I haven't even come up with my target yet. Really, I want to get at least 2,000 words. I would feel very comfortable, very good, very proud of myself for getting 2,000 words down. So I'm going to do my best to write at least 700, maybe 1,000 if I can hit that. And then later this evening, I will make up the remainder to hopefully get to 2,000 words. So let's get writing. Okay, a little over an hour has gone by. I am a bit shy of my word count target. So I said I wanted to get at least 700 words. I got 624, but I feel like my brain's just kind of starting to shut down right now. So 624 words, I can work with that. And this will kind of get me thinking as I go wander around the house and, you know, do some chores or run some errands or whatever it is I'm gonna do next. I can kind of just let what I just wrote marinate and just think about it a little bit more in the back of my mind. And then hopefully when I sit down to write tonight, I will be able to just bring all of that, you know, all of those ideas, stories, character arcs, all of that forward and really bust out a lot of words and have a good writing session.
You're like a circle that floats around me, keeping me safe and sound. And when I fall, you tied a rope to me. You're blessing me every day. I was down with an illusion, like a sparrow with broken wings. But now I shine with your reflection on me. I'm getting back up on my feet.
Such a vibe, such a mood in here. I made dinner earlier. It was delicious. I made steelhead trout, mashed potatoes, and asparagus. And I started to film the cooking process, and then I was so hungry that I didn't even show you guys what it actually looked like. So I'll make it again in the future and show you the final dish, but yeah, that was my bad. I was just really, really hungry. Okay, so it is it 8 o'clock? Are we getting close? It is 7:50. So I am about to start my second writing session of the evening. Like I said, I wrote 624 words. Yes, 624 words earlier today. So, because I'm not a math person, let's do the math here. If I want to hit my target of 2,000 words, I need to write 1,376, which honestly is, you know, kind of a lot for right now, but it's fine. I've got my tea, I have a full belly. Okay, so I've got about 1,400 words to write. So I guess I should stop talking and start typing. Okay, so it is around 9 o'clock now, and I just wrote 861 words. So let's do some math real quick on my calculator. So in total, I've written 1,485 words today, which is a really great day. However, I really want to try to hit 2,000. So 2,000 minus 1,485, 515 words. That's all I have to write to hit my word count target for today. And seeing as it's only around 9 o'clock, I'm good with this. I think I can write for another 30, 45 minutes, even up to an hour. I want to try to be in bed and starting to decompress from all the screens around 10 o'clock. I like to read for an hour before bed. So I'm gonna get back on the writing horse. Wish me luck. 550 more words. I think I can do it. I know what scene I want to write next, so let's do this. A little after 10 o'clock. Yes, a little after 10 o'clock. And I just wrote 633 words. So I was supposed to write 515, so I went over that, which is awesome. So my target for today was 2,000, and I wrote 2,118. A couple of little tidbits I want to share in terms of how to have a productive writing day. I would highly encourage you, if you're someone who has a difficult time sitting down and just busting out a bunch of words, to try to break it up over like your writing sessions. Break those up over 2 different writing sessions, or possibly even 3. I remember when I was working my full-time job, I would try to write in the mornings. That didn't always work, but my lunch breaks, always. And I would review my outline and my manuscript before I went to work in the morning. So that way, I do the same thing now. So that way the ideas, the characters, the world, the plot, all of it's just kind of in the back of my mind, and it's sitting there marinating as I'm going through my day. Because it just kind of sits there in your subconscious, and then when it's time to write, I feel like we don't realize it, but it's so much easier to pull from our subconscious when we've been, you know, focused on that in the morning, or it's something that's still a little bit fresh in our minds. So that's the first thing, is to review your manuscript, review your outline, review a scene, a character, whatever it is you need to review. Do that first thing in the morning while your brain is fresh, while your creative fuel is there. If you can get some words down, do it. I have found that when I break up my writing sessions throughout the day over like 2 writing sessions, or sometimes even 3 writing sessions, if I'm like really struggling and I can't get the words out, that really helps to just break it up and not make me feel so like writer's block. The second thing, and I think there might be some people who will disagree with this, but I actually like to write for my difficult characters
first. So this afternoon I wrote for a character called Darius Tymond, and he is by far the most difficult character for me to write. I just always struggle a little bit with his, I don't know, with his character and really getting into his mind. Like for Arden Naliri, she's my protagonist, I can get into her head so easily, and that's how I always end my writing sessions. So tonight I wrote for Arden and I was able to get, what was it, 633 words down in a very short amount of time. So I find that if you start, it's kind of like, what is that rule that all the time management people say? I think they say something like eat the frog, or it's something like that. They say something along the lines of eat the frog, meaning do the difficult thing first, do the thing that you don't really want to do. And so if I know that I have a character coming up in my book that I'm maybe not that excited to write for, that's the one I'm going to write for first, because I know once I get into the evening and I'm in my creative flow, I'm in the zone, I'm going to want to, I guess you could say, like, have more fun with my writing and write for the characters that make me feel excited. Now, if you're a morning writer, then you may find that you want to use that creative fuel in the morning for the characters, you know, that you're really excited to write for. And maybe you'll save, you know, a character that you're not so excited for later on in the evening. I found if I wait to write for a character that I'm not that excited about, I'll never write for that character. So, especially not in the evenings. So that's why I'm like, do it first in the morning, and then that way you can write for, you know, for one of your favorite characters later on. My biggest piece of advice when it comes to having a productive writing day is honestly the simplest piece of advice, and I think it's something that many of us maybe just don't want to do, which is the preparation piece. It's the outlining piece. It's the knowing what you're going to write next. It is so much easier to sit down and bust out like thousands of words in a session if you know what character you're writing for, what's going to happen in the scene, what other characters are involved, where are they in your world, what just happened to lead up to this scene, and do you have any ideas as to what's going to happen after this scene. I mean, if I hadn't sat down this morning and reviewed my outlines and really went through all of my notes and kind of reminded myself as to where I was in the story and what I was going to write next, I would have been sitting there with my manuscript open, just staring at a blinking cursor. So it was because I took that time to prep. So that's the other thing. If you are just wanting to sit down and write right away, maybe say, okay, I'm going to take a day, especially if you're writing a series or if you're maybe halfway through a manuscript and you haven't finished it yet, maybe say, okay, I'm going to start writing on X date, but the day before is the day that I'm going to use for prep. That's the day I'm going to review everything. I'm going to read everything I've written. I'm going to review my outline, review my characters, whatever it is you need to look over, but just take a little bit of time to refamiliarize yourself with your story and with your characters. Okay, so that is going to conclude this vlog. I really hope that you enjoyed it. I hope that you had fun coming along with me on my productive writing day, and I hope that you, I don't know, feel inspired and motivated and, you know, like you're ready to tackle your manuscript and your story. I hope that this helped give you some motivation and some advice as to how to continue writing your story and overcome writer's block if that's something you're struggling with. If you enjoyed this vlog and you want to see more videos like this in this sort of style, make sure you give this video a thumbs up to support my channel, and don't forget to click that subscribe button as well as that little bell that will send you email notifications to your inbox whenever I upload new videos. I hope you guys have a wonderful day or evening wherever you are in the world, and I will see you in the next one.